Hey, welcome to the Unofficial Shrink. My name is Niraj Madhar. Madhur. I'm not a licensed therapist. I don't have a couch. I definitely don't have a PhD. Well, I've spent years listening to people, overthinking everything, and surviving my own mental chaos. If you're tired of perfect, polished mental health content, you're in the right place.
I'm not qualified, but I'll still tell you what I think. Welcome to the Unofficial Shrink. I'm not qualified, but I'll still tell you what I think. Welcome to the Unofficial Shrink.
Why this podcast exists. I I eventually got to a point I need to start talking about what it is that is ticking ticking me off. What is ticking me off? What is ticking me off? There's a number of reasons. There's a lot that's happening out. There's a lot that's available out there. And there is like professionals that you can go and talk to, you can go and speak with. Professional people.
I'm not qualified, but I'll still tell you what I think. Welcome to the Unofficial Shrink.
All this stuff that's happening, the reason why I'm here, more to do with the happenings and events that have taken place recently, occurred, and the potential reasons why they've happened, and having to acknowledge this present and the presence and the presence of a lot of the happenings and all the things that are happening, continuing to happen and go on. I have had a traumatic life. Trauma enough now. I'm here with this situation. I'm here with this task and a podcast that I happen to name after a shrink. I don't know if I'm a fun person anymore or individual. At one point in my life, well, many points I was struck down, and I noticed at this point something strange had happened. Something strange had happened. I said to myself, this is my moment. This is my time. I'm a very generous person. How has this happened? I'm not one to spoil the party. I'm I am here for a lot of reasons. Why be a selfish individual? Why be selfish? Everything happens for a reason. All that happens in life is meant to happen. All that happened in life was meant to happen. The world has been conquered. The world has been won. You only get what comes out. You only get the latest products, you only get the latest update, you only get the latest releases, you get. That's what I mean. You only get what comes out. You only get what comes out. For me and myself, and this podcast, you can expect me to show some support on struggles and many different issues. Talk about struggles. Talk about struggles. I worry. I do worry. I do worry. I probably do worry quite a bit. But I don't let it on as much as I should. And people don't kind of catch on to how much I I might tend to worry. I might tend to worry. When I will or do get some type of fulfillment in terms of a financial reward of some sort, feel like I will change, and there may be some type of complex that I might have to overcome in order to get back to a point where I can be that person most people can relate to with me. Most people know that most people know of or might know me for, or at one point kind of abused me for. That's not funny. It's like that say how the saying goes, taking kindness for a weakness. It's very well understood. However, I can't believe how tied up it's got into the happenings in my life. How many things that have happened you shouldn't believe, you can't really believe, and even bother putting it in perspective. Now that I have to, I have to. Now that you have to, you have to. I've always been someone who people actually could probably say that I was, even though I'm not here trying to brag about myself, I'm really not here to try and brag about myself. It's one thing to continue in a way, which people are only going to abuse you for, and go from being the hardest worker in the room to being a fraction of the person that you actually were. That's another undesired outcome. It's another undesired outcome. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Not being allowed to think is going to be apparent inevitably it's going to be very obvious. To be assuring or even self-assured, or then to begin the whole process of reassuring people or being reassuring. Or being reassuring. Or being reassuring. As time goes on. As time goes on. I don't have any security, job security, or mental health of immediate surroundings, the environment, or the financial security in the longest time of employment in my life. Although if you include all the wasted years, all the wasted years, nothing has been rewarded. Nothing has been rewarded. I think it's quite bad that this camera's in frame, but I'm gonna try and edit this out. Or not. Or not. I don't have that much space to do all that is needed at this moment in time. It's a low satisfactory rate with many outcomes. With all the many outcomes, I am not complaining. This is not a complaint. I'm not someone who is afraid of hard work. I'm not a stranger to harsh reality of life. However, being the subject and being the target of many brash outcomes and situations and situations I have proved to myself and myself only, I'm a good judge of character and person. Understand when someone's not having a good day. I understand when you just like to say that you're okay and you're not okay. This is the point where either you're unfortunate to have me do this for you, as by this stage in life, I will admit, it is only up to me to decide from now on what does, and actually happens. At that point, you can choose to go with the flow. You can choose to stop everything and fall flat on the floor. Just fall down on the floor. Just fall. And just not get back up for a little bit and just be like, yeah, I'm not going to take part in what's happening. I'm gonna fake. If you want to fake it, fake it. If you really feel the need to like fall down, referee go. It's up to you. It really is up to you. A lot of people get away with a lot of stuff. I'm at a stage in my life. I am 40. I'm 40, coming up to being 40 years of age. Currently 39. I'm 39. Me, I'm 39 years of age. $39. It may sound very depressing. It may sound very miserable. It may sound that. No. The topic of life, it is for some people. The specific topic is for some people. Who gets it? Who doesn't get it? You get? Did you get? This is not so much about the whole equation of life. It used to do with some parts of life, however, not the entirety of life. In an early stage in life, one of the earliest stages in my life, I didn't get much fulfillment in what it was that I was doing. I want to go back and correct these things. You want to do it fairly well. You want to succeed. You want to succeed a lot. The opportunity, the time to possess the ability, before you could probably admit to something which is labeled as a burnout. Something which is a burnout. What they call a burnout nowadays, they call it a burnout. Most people call it a burnout. Why? Why? But even that whole process of going back, being someone mature, going back and being mature is 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 more in your control. You have more authority in that sense, in that situation. However, what was taking place again was different offers. Whether you're more of a practical person or you're more of a mental person, you're more theoretical. You're more theoretical of a person. I'll be honest. Like, if you think about it, social media has been out for more than 20 years. Social media is very, more or less, it's quite old now. Few decades. No? From those times, the early 2000s, after the millennium, everything changed. The way people making money did change. The whole way you make money. The fact that you don't have to go nowhere. You ain't gonna go to no place where they can all just, you can make no money on the www dot. I still gotta make mine. And how they can be rounds. Like, you're good enough to go some of the distance, but you can't go all the way because somehow something sidetracked. You know, you you get tired. You get sidetracked. Depending on how well you can look after yourself, depending on who it is that is around you, who you work for, the organization, how organized you are. how organized and how people keep you. Social media, the way people hustled, the culture, and how people are making money now from social media content. People are making money from social media, and how it became monetized, how people have monetized what it is that they do, all from here, or from not going anywhere, from where you stay. It's okay. It's happened. It's been. It's whatever. If you want to talk about when Facebook came out, February 4th, 2004. There's more than 20 years old. The next best thing under, you could say, Meta or Facebook. However, its official release was October 6th, 2010. That's coming to 20 years. There was a bit of a buzz about it and what came out of it, what people were getting, what the rumors were, what it was perceived. Nothing was too obvious. I didn't get on Instagram for a long time. I was quite late. I didn't like social media. You did get vibes from social media, and they're not very nice ones. It's more of a Gen Z thing. I was born, and the necessity of a phone, it wasn't necessary. So there I was. I might have knocked on your door. Different forms of communication. In your house phone, you had house phones, landlines. Staying professional, thinking and being professional. Big, big things for someone like me. Big things for me. Being a professional. Instagram got released on iOS first in 2010. Android was around in 2012. It's not that long ago, however. The amount of people who got rich in that time, who established a career, came to them quite easily. Yeah, here I am trying to be professional in so many different aspects, so many ways. Considering everything, there's me being that guy, always considerate about everything, trying to look after everything, trying to look after everybody. Always, my own life is somewhat in tatters, like my family life, my social life, everything. It kind of just goes on. You wonder why. You start to actually wonder why. You might as well. You start wondering why. I was coming to the end of my teens, early 20s. I said to myself, I'm gonna make a change here. Yeah, I still never was on social media. Never on social media. I was not doing social media. No. I had a couple of followers. That was it. Not that much though. Not that much at all. And for somebody like me, again, it's like you acknowledge the situation, you keep going through, you acknowledge the situation, you keep getting through it. You say to yourself, you're okay, you're okay. And everybody does this. Like, you kind of have to commend a lot of people for their efforts in life. Going forward, doing what it is that they do, being successful at it, hoping to live and tell the tale, succeeding quite a bit along the way, being quite successful, somewhat, and not even they make it. You only live once. You only have one life. Believe it or not, you live once. You only have one life. You can't keep wasting it. But when you realize now that you may have wasted some of your time, you didn't like the experience of coming up as a child. You realize that you wasted a lot of time. Now you want to try and make up for this time. You want to try and make up for all that time. And the only way you're going to do it is doing it again. You've given enough time and enough thought to what it is now, what it is that you want to do. Because for someone like me, I never knew what I wanted to be. being self-aware, being aware of what it is that you are, what it is that you do. I'm Indian. My ethnicity, I'm Indian. I'm a Asian British. I'm Asian British. Me. I'm an Asian British. You kind of realize that if you don't feel fulfilled, you want to try and fulfill yourself. You often get that confused with being a busy person. However, I don't. A lot of people who seem busy seem they don't have time to get involved in the wrong type of issues. A lot of people get caught up in it. It's surprising to me how a lot of people have avoided these types of situations. It's strange. The type of habits you develop, the type of habits you get involved with, that again take up your time, and that can have knock-on effects, cause even more issues for you. Cause a lot of issues. These are some that have caused me a little bit of resentment. No, I don't want to go through life and resent things. You don't. Why are you avoiding these? You don't want to put your effort into those with no reward for a long time. You'll burn out. That's what happened to me. You're burnt out. I burnt out. I want to invite all my listeners, all the people who have seen this podcast, my new podcast, the Unofficial Shrink. I would like to offer you the opportunity to talk about this situation. How you may have tried, how you have succeeded or failed. It's up to you. I'm available on platforms, social media. Send me a DM, voice note. And to all my people who are struggling, even if you're struggling now, you can message me. Yeah, do it. Don't hesitate. Message me, and I promise to read and share my reactions on the next episodes. I will. On future episodes, I will promise to share my honest opinions and reactions. I'll ask you a question. What's one thing you wish you could say out loud but don't? There's one thing you could do this week is to have one completely honest 10-minute conversation with yourself or someone you trust. Alright? I'm no shrink. That's why it says unofficial. But I'm here with you. You'll probably have me for a little while. Until the next time.
I'm not qualified, but I'll still tell you what I think. Welcome to the Unofficial Shrink.